He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Able to find enough room to get it out across the 25. He's brought down at the 26. The offense lining up for a first down play. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. At the 40, there he goes. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense. They gobbled up a ton of yardage to open this drive, and now in business near midfield at the 49. Quarterback touch pass on the jet sweep. Gets it inside the 10. They make the tackle at the 36, but they're in plus territory now with the 15-yard pickup.
I love that play call, and I love the timing of the pre-snap motion. Because the quarterback was able to get it to the receiver right behind the offensive line, because of the timing, he was able to outflank the defense. That puts him out in space where he's able to use his speed. Nice job with the pre-snap motion and timing.
The emotions and energy figure to be high all day, guys, because of what's at stake this late in the season. Really a must-win for both teams.
And these are the ones that get your blood moving, Reese. You get jacked up, man. We don't have to say anything in the locker room, give these big speeches. You know what's at stake, Jesse. You're ready to rock and roll. This is when you prove you're the big dog.
Which is pretty cool, too, because it's been a long season. And these teams obviously are both physically and mentally tired, but you're right. For this kind of game, this is the one you circled at the start of the year. You knew that this was going to matter. There was going to be a lot on the line. Now it's time to go out and prove you're the better team.
They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. The short hands, it's Hatchett. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down.
There's a reason third down is called the money down. What a great find by the quarterback. Great job finding his receiver. At the end of the game, you look at third down percentages. It tells a huge story, and it goes a long way in deciding who wins a football game.
Running back searching for a hole. Stop is made almost immediately. Give him 1 to the 23. Guys, it's almost impossible to overstate the importance of this game. The result might well be the cut line between really good bowl and the playoffs.
It's a really good point, Reese, because at this point of the season late, this is a resume builder, and this might be the win that you need to improve your status and impress the committee so that they put you in the college football playoff.
Yeah, in these top 10 games, they get more attention. More people are there, more people are covering, more people are talking about it, more people are spreading it. So obviously to do it on this stage will go a long way to determine whether this team gets in the playoff.
Nice job by the defense. They're mixing up their look. They're third and long in field goal range. They go zone coverage. So everybody on the back end has the eye on the quarterback, and they're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
Between the uprights, it's good. And with that, they break the seal on the scoring. It's 3-0.
This is a team that really prides themselves on starting fast. We've seen that before, and here they are playing at home today. Nice job on the opening drive. Lots of poise, good emotion. They don't get the touchdown they would have liked, but they kick a nice field goal. They've got the lead. Head coach has to be happy.
This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. Tackle is made at the 28 after a pickup of 3. After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. Looking for a crease to the left. They open the lane, and he hit it a gain of 5 out to the 33. Ohio State pulled out a classic and won close over the Wolverines last season.
Yeah, it's so nice to know you got a team that in the biggest moments in the game, the huge rivalry game, your big game of the year, they can come up clutch and make those big plays. Ohio State did a year ago. Can this team handle the moment now against the new Michigan team?
Well, oftentimes in great rivalries like this, the game is going to go right down to the wire. And that loss last year, that really propelled Michigan this offseason. They did extra sprints. They spent extra time in the weight room. 4th quarter. That was a major point of emphasis all offseason, getting ready for this one. They know they've got to dial in this one late.
Looking to throw, it's Hall. They're working that left side. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down.
That's a really nice throw. And you think about being the starting quarterback at The Ohio State University with all the great players they've had here recently, what this offense expects from you. This is explosive passing attack. You've seen that now in recent years. They push the ball vertically down the field. This guy has this skill set. That's why he's out there on the field right now. He allows this offense to really go. He's playing at a high level.
There's so many great rivalries in college football, guys, but I think this one, because of the disdain and the excellence, sort of rises to the top.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there are great rivalries scattered all around this country. In-state rivalries, interconference rivalries, a great history, great pageantry. But I think what makes Ohio State versus Michigan unique is the fact that more often than not, these are two teams competing for national championships at the end of the year, and this game really does determine the national landscape.
And 19 national championships between the two teams. Late in the year, it always matters. You go back to 2006, number 1 versus number 2. So always disdain, always hate. Don't even call each other by their names. Like, this rivalry means so much to college football.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Offense set on first down. He wants to throw it. He's got him in the flat. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
Love the awareness by the defense here. They're trying to get the running back the ball in space, but the defense was expecting it. They had guys in position. They located the football, and they went and game time.
Receiver looks it in. It's complete. Couple of guys there to get him on the ground. And the Buckeyes come to the line in the hurry-up. Looking for a man. It's Hall. On the run, still looking. He's run out of bounds, but not before. Turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down.
When QBs are able to do this and just pull it down after he's sat back there in the pocket a little bit and go make plays, so frustrating for a defense. If I blitz and play man-to-man, nobody's looking at the QB. He can make a big play. If I sit back,
got some room, headed to the goal line, and he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Ohio State. That drive was what every father wants his daughter's romances to be like. Slow, take your time, drain the clock, no hurry at all.
Sometimes love is a slow burn, and that's what we just saw in that last drive. I am so impressed with the execution, and I love their ability to run the football. These players, they're coached up. They're coming out here, and they are executing exactly how their coaches prepared them to do in this game.
Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. Guys, that last trip, a little disappointing having to take the 3.
yeah, and I think, Jesse, you see so many offenses talk about getting yards and the tempo and all the stuff they do. It was a nice job moving the football, but they got to get in the end zone this time.
Yeah, and I think to do that, they just got to be more physical at the point of attack, get some push up front. They need to be the best running team in this game to win.
Touch pass on the run. And after the tackle, we are headed to the end of the first quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Ohio State 7, Michigan 3.
Now facing a third down as they line up after the break.
29 Philly, 2-9 Philly.
Touch pass on the jet sweep. He's out past the 35. Good, solid pickup on that one. They've got it out to the 40.
It's so hard because there's always action off it, right? If I fake this pass and I can run it up the gut or I can throw it and they just spread me out and make me defend so many things. And you could tell they got on the edge quickly, got the big first down.
Yankee blue flag.
Out of the gun, the running back has it. They'll rip off 8 on that play. It's 2nd and 2.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
Got 8 on first down, now looking at a 2nd and 2. Quarterback checking the play. On 2nd down, looking to throw. Now improvising. Grabbed over the middle. It's Hatchett. And the Wolverines get enough to move the chains.
And this quarterback wasn't thinking about taking off and running with that one. He was outside the pocket, but he kept his eyes down the field. He kept reading the coverage. He was surveying to find an open target. Accurate throw, and they get the first down.
Not a whole lot of progress made there on the short run. These two first squared off in 1897, and this rivalry is almost like a history of the sport itself.
So much history, so much tradition. I mean, I can go back to 2006 when they were 1-2 in the country. You know, like, these games really matter. The uniforms are clean. The athletes are flowing. There's tons of athletes all over the place. This is always a huge showdown.
And you think about some of the great coaches that have graced the sidelines in this rivalry. Bo Schembechler at Michigan and Woody Hayes at Ohio State. And it's amazing, in a conference full of trophy games, maybe the greatest rivalry doesn't even level.
It's complete. They ripped off a big one, and they get it down to the 27. Really good job when this play went off script, and that's the job of a tight end. Find the soft spot and stay in the quarterback's field of vision.
Yeah, and it's just frustrating to play this kind of style of quarterback. That's always going to extend the play, make it harder on you as defense. You got to guard longer in the back end, and just did a nice job getting outside the pocket and getting into the big fella at tight end.
This offense has a lot of different ways they can attack you, and you're going to see the entire playbook at work in this game. Throwing it, running it, and getting guys the ball out on the perimeter. Great job.
Motion from the offense. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. Going to work on 2nd down, and the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. He's looking to throw. Makes the grab on the left. Touchdown, Michigan! Hauled it in and just kept right on running to the hallelujah land. And the extra point puts them up by a field goal. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. And he takes this from inside the 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Now they need to put something together to answer that last score.
There's a lot of pressure, too, on this offense to have to execute at a high level. They've got to score points, David, but they can't go too fast because their defense right now is tied.
And I think that's the difficulty being a play caller. Like, I have to balance all of those things. My defense is a little bit tired. I can't put on the field, but I got to be aggressive because this is a back-and-forth type game, so a lot to process and think about.
They'll snap this one from the 30 on 1st and 10. Shoots it to the left. Makes the grab. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense.
And a really good job by the quarterback being very decisive. He saw his matchup. He went for it. He attacked it. Got the positive gain. I would say he's going to find that guy a few more times today.
Quick pass on the fly motion. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down.
Yeah, and way to be creative, way to get the ball in the perimeter really quickly, get some speed outside. All you got to do is secure that edge, and you're just trying to get that first down. Nice job, nice play call by the offense.
The Buckeyes will snap it on 1st and 10. On the option. Able to scrounge 3 yards out of that one somehow. It's 2nd and 7.
You know, I really like this QB running the football because I know he's got a lot of speed, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. So he's not going to be able to break a lot of tackles. You really got to do a good job of trying to scheme ways to get him out in more space.
And a good, solid pickup before the defense cuts him down. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and we have ourselves a ball game, and they have a chance to take the lead here before the half. The terrain gets rough this deep in the red zone. Third down, they can pick up the first without scoring. Looks as if the defense was a little too eager there, got into the neutral zone, and that'll be a 5-yard penalty. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. And the defense tried to cheat a little space and get in that neutral zone, but it's still first and goal. That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards. Great tackle there. The clock is not their friend. Got to get everybody to the line quick. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Buckeyes!
And that is exactly what you want from your offense. Man, late in the half, you want to execute and then punch it in physically on the ground. Take the lead going into the half. Take all the momentum. Nice execution on the drive by that offense.
Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. That ball skips through the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 25-yard line. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. Man, what a drive last time for the touchdown. That passing attack was lethal, David.
Yeah, and you know...
And the ball is picked off. Couldn't find a ton of room on that return, but that small change, they take over at the 43.
Not all DBs make the play at the end, right? They can bat the ball down, they can be in position, but they don't really secure the football. Great job by the DB securing the football and forcing the turnover.
Wants to throw. It's Hall. Gonna let it fly. And it slips through his fingers. Incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it.
Quarterback could not have walked that ball, placed it into the hands of his receiver any better. That was a perfect throw. Wide out, deep downfield. You got to finish the play.
On second down, they'll take to the air. Fires left. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
I think for the quarterback, he's going to have to be so good with his eyes in this game. You're going up against one of the best defenses in the country. You've got to look guys off, especially when you're trying to throw to your primary target like he was on that last one.
On third and long, he has to throw for it. Got his man on the right. They are on the move down to the 32, and they pick up another first down. The offense uses a timeout to stop the clock, and they'll get a quick breather. They've got it down to the 32. First and 10 coming. Wide receiver now comes in motion. Looking to throw it again. Release to the back. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
You know, it's difficult for QBs sometimes when you're throwing to your running backs because they're not receivers. You really got to be perfect with the ball placement. You got to make that a catchable throw. A little bit too tough for the RB on that.
Couldn't connect on first down. Now back to the air. He's going to run it. He goes out of bounds after a solid gain on the play. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Really want to try to pick up at least half of the yardage needed on first and 10. Trying to get the edge with a quick touch pass. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Well, I love the aggressive nature of the defense on that play. Everybody playing with eye discipline. They saw the pre-snap motion. They knew who had the football. And you saw guys play with excellent instinct, running downhill and making a tackle.
Operating in the red zone here on second down. Looking to pass. It's Hall. Pressure coming. And he can't escape, and down he goes.
And I love playing man coverage on the back end, getting those receivers' faces. Don't let them feel comfortable in run zone where they can find all these holes in the zone, and my rush can't get home. Pressure them, pressure them, pressure them.
Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Coming after it. And the pressure is coming in, and they get him again. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Now on 4th down, they'll send out the field goal unit. Absolutely perfect. And the field goal to end the half takes us to halftime. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update. The Wolverines will kick it away first, and we'll start the second half. On the run from inside his own 5. And he did a good job bobbing and weaving and finding a little bit of running room on that return. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. They go to work in the third quarter with the lead, but they have had a little trouble keeping their quarterback upright.
Yeah, and you have the lead, you're positive, but the offensive line coach is definitely going to be upset. And the offensive coordinator, listen, I don't want my guy getting touched. He's being productive, but give him some more time here in the second half.
I think you can do that, too, offensively, by maybe leaving your tight end in to help block, maybe shipping with running backs to help these tackles out on the edge, because you're right. That pocket has been shaky, and if it continues to be that way in the second half, this could be a much different-looking football game.
Pushes ahead for a couple. They'll mark it at the 33.
And a nice second effort by the back to break a tackle. But how about those defensive backs willing to come up, stick their face in the fan, and make a tackle?
Those are the best run defenses, too, right? It's not just D linemen and linebackers getting all the plays, but
all by himself down the middle. The 20. And he takes it all the way. They couldn't stop him. Touchdown, Ohio State. Now they've got a little breathing room. They are in firm control of this game, guys, but you never want to let up in a rivalry game.
Because it only takes one play. We know how much of a factor momentum can be in these types of rivalry games, David, so this game's still far from over.
And this is where my leadership and my experience comes into play. When you got guys that have been through these fires, been through these rivalry games, you know the swings happen quick. Now you got to swing it back your way.
Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point of the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
And I would also say, Palmer, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great, so I know offensively I got to put some good possessions together here and make something happen on this side of the football.
And this offense can ill afford to come up empty on this drive, already trailing by multiple possessions. Quarterback moving. Fires into traffic, intercepted. Got room on the return. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but on the great return to improve this field position.
And you don't see this very often. The big defensive linemen, you see these guys rush the quarterback most of the time, but how confusing is it, Palmer, when it looks like they're rushing, they drop in coverage and make the big interception?
Well, I don't think that quarterback thought he could even make the play. How about the eye-hand coordination and his ability to snatch the football out of the air? I mean, that was crazy athleticism, well-deserved. That's going to make the highlight reel for sure.
Listen, the offensive coordinator's best friend in the red zone is the running game. Make guys commit near the line of scrimmage so I can throw behind. This defense is...
And the pass is intercepted. The 50. He's inside the 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, Wolverines. How about that D coming up with a play like that? Just one moment, and all of a sudden, the fortunes turn.
You're in a position where you're about to give up points. And now you flip that around and you put points on the board. Perfectly executed. What do you do on an interception? First guy blocks the intended receiver. Everybody else starts to form a wall where the ball's going. Nice blocking, nice interception, nice return for the touchdown.
Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. That last pick six after a drive like that, David, can swing the momentum of a game.
The defense is still celebrating. I mean, such a big play. I mean, they gave up some yards but did what they're supposed to do. Now, Jesse, this offense has to put a drive together.
Yeah, they have to recapture some momentum here. What they can't do is go 3 and out and give the ball right back.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. They believe they can run right here. Nowhere to go, and the ball's loose. Now the defense has got it going the other way. Gets it into the end zone, but wait a minute. We'll have to check out the laundry on the... They'll decline the penalty here, and the result of the play stands. This coach wanted to be absolutely certain on a challenge. He was right. The previous play will be overturned. They've got them pinned deep in their own end, and this crowd trying to help keep them there. Looking downfield, it's Hall. Unleashes one. It's caught. And he was loose and in the open field and on his way. A tremendous pickup on that one.
Just beautiful, and that's a great feeling as a quarterback when you make that throw. It keeps your offense on the field, keeps the offense in rhythm. Obviously not as good as throwing a touchdown pass, but I'll tell you this, way better than having to trot off over to the bench and wait for your turn to get another shot.
Small gain, I know, but again, the defense knows he's going to run the football. He's willing to run the football, not just drop back and pass, make him honor the run game. You got to do a lot of this.
After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. From the gun, running back gets the give. And the defense stops him just short of the first down. Maybe needed a few more chain links to move the sticks.
Listen, you got to be able to know what play to call and what hole to go through. Like the line blocks for a certain hole. Good job getting through the hole, getting what was blocked, getting a nice positive gain, making your situation really good on the next down.
They'll try to get the edge with the toss play here. That just never had a chance as they controlled the middle of the field and stopped him in the backfield on 3rd down. This is the absolute right call. They're going for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. He's got him and they convert. Slammed to the ground, but not before he gets the first down. Sometimes we don't give enough credit to a receiver knowing exactly where he needs to be on the field, and they pick up the first down there.
Yeah, and you've got to give the receiver credit, obviously knowing where that is, but the defender needs to know where it is too. Where is he trying to get? That ball's going to come out quick. He didn't really understand where the sticks were. Because of that, he gives up the first down. We need to just be a little bit more aware as a defensive guy.
And it just seems like there's a little more oomph than a hit like that in a rivalry game, David.
Man, yeah, and you have to love it in these rivalry games when you get those big licks. And, Jesse, you make a statement. You make a point.
Yeah, you're right, David. I mean, I just feel like in rivalry games, everybody's playing a little bit faster. And I feel like the hits just hurt a little bit more. Your physical toughness will be challenged in rivalry games like this.
Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise, backing this defense on 3rd down. Fires complete on the crosser. And he almost ran away from everybody on that one. A huge pickup on that play. The Buckeyes have it with a 1st and 10. They'll run this one off right tackle. They get him down, but not before he picks up 6 to the 7-yard line.
And a nice job by the running back, finding space, getting downhill, making the good run. Great job finishing with his pads.
He works his way ever closer all the way down to the 1-yard line. The offense threatening, close to the end zone now with a new set of downs. Touchdown, Buckeyes! And they take it in for 6 more points. Ohio State is dotting Michigan's eye as the Buckeyes are firmly in control.
And Ohio State, they've let a few get away from their rival in Michigan, and they're trying to get that back. So they came into this one with a chip on their shoulder. They're not always used to being in that position when they play against Michigan. But, David, in the second half here, it's all Buckeyes.
Yeah, and you got to be physical. When you play the Wolverines, you know the type of brand that they play. Ohio State has matched that physicality. They have been ready. They were ready for the game, and they've handled business.
Just enough time for one more snap before the end of the quarter. He's looking to throw it. Zings it complete to the right. They get him on the ground, and that'll be the final play of this third period.
Michigan 17.
First down to start the drive after the break.
Cricket.
Use the play fake, now to throw. And it's picked off for the third time today. Taking it the other way. He'll go out of bounds, but he gets the ball back, takes it the other way, and he has created a great sudden change opportunity. And the offense suddenly with an opportunity it couldn't have expected with a first and goal after touchdown Ohio State. And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. They put up another score here in the fourth, and they are well on their way to an 11-1 regular season. And the extra point splits the uprights, and they're up a full 3 touchdowns, a 21-point cushion in the fourth. And the ball will make it into the end zone. No return on that one for a touchback. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. Mistakes are going to happen, as they did on that last drive. Now, how will they respond, Jesse?
And this is the kind of guy who's going to take full accountability. That was my bad. That's on me. I'm about to lead this offense now down the field to score some points.
Dang, Palmer, I wish I would have played with you. I didn't play with many quarterbacks that were just like, yeah, my bad. Hey, guys, I got this. Sorry about that. It was more, you should have ran a better route.
Right back up top on 2nd and 10. They're trying to get to it. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They've been trying all game long different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy, and that's why the ball falls incomplete.
They finally get him stopped, but what a good job by that front wall to set up the screen and create some lanes for their running back. The offense lines up at the 40. They've got a first down. Wide receiver shows motion. Touch pass on the jet sweep. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one.
Got to give the defense credit. Watching film, anticipating. They knew that this offense had this play in their back pocket. They knew about the speed of this wide receiver and different ways they were going to try to get him.
And they got him for the sack.
This quarterback has been under duress all game long. He's one of the best in the country, and he's used to having his way. He's the one who's used to dictating to opposing defenses, but that has not been the case in this game. Here we are late. He's still under pressure, taking a sack there.
How about getting the foot down on that throw for the big completion?
I'll tell you, you cannot count this team out because of who's playing quarterback. When this guy's in the game, it's never over. Yeah, they're trailing here in the fourth quarter, but this dude can put up points quickly.
Makes the catch past the sticks. And they finally make the tackle, but this will be a pretty easy conversion for this offense.
This defense better not blink. I know they've got a lead here in the fourth quarter, but just look at who they're going against. This quarterback is one of the best in the nation. They cannot rest on their laurels. Someone's going to have to make a play.
Fires to the big fella. There to make the tackle, but the big throw is good enough to give them a first down. Ever since they invented the forward pass, the tight ends have been running the drag and getting the first down.
I think it's because the tight ends is so much versatility. You know, they can block and stay in the formation, or they can release and come out. But either way, if the quarterback's patient, most of the time, that drag route's going to come in.
It's got to be frustrating to be this quarterback in this game, too. He just has never had confidence being able to step up in the pocket and deliver throws. When he gets flushed, they're still taking away all the throws down the field. It's just been one of those days.
Fights through the pile and picks up a couple down to the 16.
I never know if it's grammatically correct to say a team is being out-physicaled. You hear it a lot in football, though. That's happening in this game. They are just not getting the push they need all game long up front to have any success when they decide to run it.
Starting to feel a little pressure. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and fourth down's coming.
Well, this defense has just had this QB's number all game long. We're here in the fourth quarter, and still he's not able to set up in the pocket. He gets flushed to the outside, nothing open, and it's an incompletion.
Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. On fourth down, they'll try to throw it. Another interception. He steps out of bounds, but not only does he get the ball back, what a return to set up his offense.
And that's a really good job by the defense, understanding the situation of football. It's fourth down. It's late in the game. You got a multi-possession lead. Take away all the deep stuff. Make them force the football into coverage. They do, and they stamp this game.
Man, that's the advantage of having a good coaching staff to teach these players in this type of situation with the lead late in the game who want to stay in the field and play and keep the clock ticking. They do that after that nice run.
They finally get him on the ground, but the big running play moves the change for the first down.
And the defense down in this game, they just can't do anything to stop this offense at this point, David. Right now, they know they're going to be trying to run the football and try and ice the game, but there's nothing at this point it seems they can do.
Yeah, and it's frustrating. I got to sell out, man. I got to bring as many guys to the line of scrimmage as I can. I got to find a way to get this ball back to my offense. The clock is not my friend, and them running the football is only going to run this thing out quicker. I got to find a way to make something happen. Strip the football, do something.
Pulled down after a pickup of 4 to the 27.
That's got to be demoralizing if you're the defense. You're trailing, you need to get the ball back. You got to get off the field, but you can't stop the run. When they're going between the tackles, this defense is going to have to get a lot more physical, especially in the middle.
They'll run the ball. The clock is on their side. And he didn't have a whole lot of operating room after the juke, and he stopped for a short gain.
And I'm a fan of this, man. Run the football, eat the clock. We got the lead. This offense has put together a nice day, man. Like, just balance, rhythm, timing, play calling, everything has worked. That's why they built this lead. They've had a great day today.
Headed to the end zone. Touchdown, Buckeyes! And the pummeling has started. They put another score on the board as they try to push this winning streak to 3.
Anytime you've got a successful run play on the ground, you've got to have great blocking up front. The offensive line, receivers, everybody doing their job, and that helped lead to the home run.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. And the ball is loose on the return. The kicking team's got it, and they take the ball right back.
Because of the big collisions on kickoff team, you don't see a lot of that in practice. You don't do that because you don't want to get each other hurt. A lot of open field, big collisions, big forced fumble, big momentum play created.
He'll be brought down at the 5-yard line, and this defense is on its heels.
And there's nothing more frustrating than when you get late in the game and you know they're running the football and you don't stop them. It's been that kind of day for this defense. They haven't played well. They're going to have to go to the well. They're going to have to figure some things out. Practice this week, I can promise you, will not be a lot of fun with these coaches.
So with the late lead, they're ready to just drain the clock in victory formation. Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big third down in the red zone. The quarterback takes a snap and takes a knee. No matter how much college football changes, realignment, all of that kind of stuff, rivalries are consistent, and winning rivalry games, well, that's just the best.
Because they hate each other so much. So you take the field against your rival. You're able to put forth a performance like that. That is worth its weight in gold, David. Unbelievable effort here by the winning team, and bragging rights now for a while.
Bragging rights for a while. It's a fun thing to be able to accomplish. Now we also got to take in